we've got more information about what to prepare for NYC Go Fest direct from Niantic themselves.
And gotta catch them all. That's what 70,000 New Yorkers will be doing at this weekend's Pokemon Go Fest. The event starts today and goes through Sunday at Randall's Island Park. And throughout the city, roughly 80% of this year's attendees are traveling into New York from out of town to go to this event, which is the biggest ever Pokemon event in the U.S.
We're here to catch some Pokemon, try to get all the shinies we can find.
And we're here for Pokemon Go Fest, so our little Pikachu could be Pikachu in real life.
We're here for the Pokemon Go Fest in New York City. We're gonna catch them all, right? And go get them shinies.
I need that hat
the shinies,
immediately.
I know, that little Pikachu is very cute.
All right, well, tomorrow is sold out if you're interested, but tickets for Sunday start at just $30, and you can buy them online.
Really important to know about coming to New York. They're too short to make their own
spots up the mountain, and also trying to help in Lahaina. We had firefighters already come from Honolulu. Our government has not deployed any military assistance, and they are a 30-minute flight away. There is no one here.
Hey, aloha guys, Eric West here, HawaiiRealEstate.org. Coming to you from the highest point I could find over Lahaina town here in Maui, Hawaii. It is with a very heavy heart that I bring this video to you to show you what has recently happened. I believe it's because of some down power lines that happened over here is my understanding, and then obviously the high winds from a hurricane that passed 500 miles to our south created a wildfire here that unfortunately took off into this residential area known as Lahaina Luna. Right here to the left, I'm looking at the high school known as Lahaina Luna, Go Lunas, oldest high school west of the Mississippi, unscathed. And then the homes above the highway here did not receive any damage. But then once you get below the bypass, obviously you can see where the wildfire spread. I believe it went down towards Hokiokio, which is a street in front of Pu'unoa, in front of Pu'amana. I don't know Pu'amana, the status of Pu'amana, other than what I'm showing you in this video. And I'm showing you all of Front Street, Shark Pit neighborhood, and that is Lahaina Shores condominium, which is standing next to it is the 505. I don't see the 505 because I can only assume it's burned down. And obviously the neighborhoods off Prison Street, Waine'i, and Front Street I've heard is basically gone. The banyan tree is burned, the outlet malls are burned, there's the smokestack. These apartments are still burning, they're brand new apartments next to Tamura's, up by the grocery. Beyond that you've got other homes, outlet malls. Opukea, the long-term condo residential, right there, long-term condos, I believe they burned. Ho'onanea, just in the foreground there, I heard has not burned. Front Street Apartments, which I believe are just in the distance there towards the ocean, I've heard those have burned to the ground. And Kahoma Village, I think I see Kahoma Village. Again, I'm not positive, but I think they're still standing. I think Kahoma Village is right in this area here. Beyond that, obviously we have Baby Beach. I think Pu'unoa Estates, which is an oceanfront condo, is still standing. I can see it right there. And then you have the Mission. Cannery Mall. And then we get into Waiikuli. I think Waiikuli neighborhood, Front Street, Waiikuli. That's Lahaina Roads coming into view right now. After that we've got Waiikuli Road. I believe Lahaina Terrace, I don't see it anymore. I believe it's gone. And then you have the neighborhood of Waiakuli itself, which I'm going to say is 3/4 burned. And then when you get to the north end of Waiakuli, you can see the homes that were spared. Beyond that, sorry for that speed up there. Beyond that, I want to make sure you can check everything out in case you do have a home in this area. And then you've got where the fire continued towards the north last night, towards Ka'anapali, through this field. And it terminated last night somewhere. They put up a fire road, I could see it. I actually just rode it on my dirt bike. They cut a big giant line in the field there, keeping it from spreading any further. And over here we've got Air One that has been dousing this fire right here. He just put down a load of water on this hillside where the smoke is coming up. They're obviously still trying to put that out there. Got a fire truck there. Those apartments have been burning for quite a while. But it's just with the absolute heaviest heart. That's the first calm I've felt in 2 days right there. And I don't know what all this smoke is down here, I'll be honest with you. I don't know if that's just grass fire, if there was, I don't know if that's where Puamana is or was. I think Puamana is more here where the palm trees are. You see these palm trees? I'm pretty sure that's the line of palm trees at Puamana, but I can't tell from this distance if the structures are still there. Then obviously up the hill from there we have Laniapoko. I heard Punakea Loop was evacuated and Pu'unoa Estates possibly had something going on, but I don't know. No internet, no phone, no power, and really no nothing. Roads are closed, we can't go anywhere. So right now the only modus of transportation that works around Lahaina is that right there. Anyway guys, do me a favor. We will be utilizing this video to raise money for the people of Lahaina town. I'm going to say the vast majority of this is working class homes, people that rent, people that no longer have a place to live or a place to work. So I'm going to put a link in the description to a good GoFundMe. I don't know which one that is. We haven't had a chance to set one up yet. But I think it's time to show your aloha for the island of Maui. Obviously, I think the most devastating thing that's ever happened. And I believe we'll come back, we'll be stronger. But right now we're down, real down. And I just want to say I'm so sorry for everybody that lost their home. And I'm so sorry for anybody that got injured or, God forbid, anybody lost their life. I pray in Jesus' name that did not happen. Please share the video, not because I'm trying to get YouTube analytics, man. Share the video so you can bring awareness to this. You can raise money. We can bring Lahaina and its people back stronger and better than they were before. And that we can take something like this and turn it around and this will be better than it was. And that you can knock us down, but you can't knock us out. This would be the outlet malls. Here, Waianae Street. Medical center right here. Definitely caught fire. Building that Foodlands in. Okay, continuing down. This is Lahaina Road. Lahaina and Honopilani Highway, the Shell station's gone. And a bunch of stuff that direction, but we're gonna stay into Lahaina town. Aloha gas station is gone. These are homes, and I'm looking through here. I don't see Aina Nalu. It looks like Aina Nalu, the condos are completely gone. The church is standing though. That's great news. Very thankful. Unscathed. Not Longy's, the art. Can't remember the name right now. Can I just go about halfway and turn back around? About halfway? Why? I'm just shooting video.
For what?
People to see on the mainland. No can? What's that? No?
Okay, now.
All right, I'll just turn around right here. I gotta turn around now. By the way, if you guys don't know who this is Fish. He's been sitting next to Cheeseburger in Paradise, selling the most awesome stuffs, right, for years. He's like a legend, and everyone loves Fish, and Fish loves everybody. But he's one of the wisest people that I know. Oh. Can you tell your story, man? You got time? Are you feeling all right? Or yeah. I know it's middle of the day and it's hot.
Yeah. Well, I went to Safeway late because the wind was blowing, so I knew I wouldn't be able to leave that night. And electricity was off. It took me about an hour and a half to just get some orange juice. And so it was about 4 o'clock, and I went out and I saw the fire, and you couldn't even see the gateway because it was covered with smoke. And everyone's standing around just looking. And I said, I think we should get out of here because of the speed of this wind. It could be here in 2 minutes. So I went around back to Front Street, and all the cars were lined up, but none of them were moving. And I walked all the way from Safeway to the chart house. Not one car had moved. And I was wondering what was stopping the traffic. Well, it was a policeman. And I got to the end and I looked up north. There were no obstructions. There was no reason to keep those cars there.
Are you serious?
I'm serious as a heart attack. And I said, what are you doing? He goes, well, I'm under orders to keep them here. And I said, the fire is right around Safeway. It's going to hit Front Street. You know, these people got to get out of here. And he said, I'm following orders.
No way.
And so I just kept walking. Well, maybe he knows something I don't, you know. So, and I keep walking down the highway, and I look behind, no cars are coming out. I walked all the way to Waikuli Beach, still no cars coming out. And I started hearing boom, boom, boom. And then I heard people screaming and stuff.
You're saying they were blockaded in by the police at the end of Front Street?
Yeah.
Like where that restaurant is?
Right, where the chart house
Where the chart house was, I should say. There was a blockade there and they could not go any further.
Right. From Safeway to there, not one car had moved. And people walking in front of me, the people in the cars are saying, would you like a ride? And they're going, oh, okay. And they'd get in. They asked me, I go, no, you better get out of here. You know, but they just, well, we were told to evacuate by car. Okay. So I just kept walking, and I got all the way to, like I said, the Civic Center. And then I started hearing all the explosions, and there was no one walking behind me or on bicycles or anything. And I just...
Dude, that is unbelievable.
I had no idea, you know, until the next day when I walked down there of what had happened. I just, oh my.
So did you go up north to your place?
Yeah.
Yeah. and then you just hung of your place.
Right,
Did it
got
get close to you?
It got to the Civic Center, right where the tennis courts are at, all around through there, and that's where they stopped it.
Wow, wow. So if people here want to help you, do you have? I know you're not. Are you online? Do you have a Venmo? Do you have any kind of online account of any kind whatsoever? Nothing. So guys, if you want to help fish directly, Lahaina Fire Fund, and then put fish in the comment section, and every donation that comes in will go directly to fish. So there's a way you can make a comment. Just put the word fish, and we'll make sure he gets every penny, since he doesn't have, you know, they're not tracking. There's one guy they're not tracking on planet Earth, trust me. So anyway, what's happened since, man? What can you tell us? What can you? Part of this channel is to tell people what's actually going on Maui. Is there anything you can share that you've seen since that you think it's important for people to know?
Oh, just a lot of aloha.
Yeah.
Lots of aloha. I've never seen such aloha in my life.
Wow. And you've been here how many years?
Well, I've been here 16 years this time.
This time. How many times before that?
Well, off and on 40 years.
Yeah. So you're seeing an outpouring of aloha.
Larry.
That's awesome, man. That's what I wanted to hear. That's what everybody wants to hear. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So what's your plan now, man? You need a place to stay? I got an extra room. I got an extra backyard. I know you like the outdoors. He doesn't like to be around all that manufactured material that's gassing off, right?
Right.
I know fish. You got a place to stay?
Yeah, it destroyed my place, but...
So your place did get burned?
No, it just got blown apart by the wind.
I got you.
So, but I had a spare tent, and it took me about 10 hours to set up. When you're setting up in the wind, it's not easy.
Yeah.
So,
Well, you know you can come over to my place anytime. You can set up inside, outside, on the lanai. We got food. We got everything, bro. Anything you need, man. I'm gonna give you a bunch of money too, because these people are gonna donate a bunch of money to you. I know you don't need it, but you can do with it whatever you want. By the way, Fish has got lots of money. Don't. Looks are deceptive, right? He works hard. So, anything you want to say to the people, man?
yes, aloha and God bless, and
So where are you going now?
get some food and water.
Okay. You need a ride?
No, it's just right across the street.
You want to come over to my place later?
That's okay. I need to. Still need a lot of stuff going through my head. I'm used to working every day, and I'll spend 6 days. I'm going nuts.
Yeah.
I'm gonna weave, but
There's still palms you can find, yeah?
oh well, that was a frustrating thing. I had beautiful fish leap, and then the next day the fire comes and the wind, there's fronds. I've never seen so many fronds on the ground, a windfall everywhere, and I went, this is frustrating, you know?
Yeah.
Just beautiful palms, high quality, and now I got nuts.
Yeah.
It's, okay, so.
All right, dude. Good to see you, man. I'm
too.
so glad you're alive, brother. Seriously, a lot of people want to know what's going on with fish.
Well, bless you, everybody. Thank you very much. So.
Can you believe this fish walked up right during a live? If it wasn't God's timing, I don't know what there is, man. Seriously, that's cool. I'm so glad you're good. I'm so glad. There's so many people that I'm still worried about. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I bet. People that you knew. But it's interesting, I did interview a few homeless people. I always got the GoPro on me, and I interviewed some homeless people before I was able to go live. So I'm able to go live. If you need to get online, I've got that sat link right there. So we're live right now. But I interviewed some homeless people or houseless people, and they said they were good because, like you said, they were able to walk out or run out, and the people that were trapped in the cars couldn't. But the fact that you're telling me that they couldn't exit off of Front Street because it was blocked by the police, that's pretty shocking news, dude.
Oh, no warning, no sirens, nothing on the internet about the emergency things they put in. I mean, you just go on, sending the kids home from school. I mean, it was stupid.
Yeah.
You know, almost to the point of evil.
We love you. You're the best. We're glad you're alive. And if you need anything, you know where to come. I'll give you my address. I won't give you guys my address because we still got some haters out there. We'll block you anyway. You try to hate, we block you, right? We block the haters, don't we?
That's right.
What's up with the haters anyway, dude?
Something wrong with it.
Something's wrong with them. We gotta show some aloha. We're gonna convert the haters. Can we do it?
We're going to try.
We're gonna try our best. Looks like this home survived on the corner. here to the left is Kahoma Village. Appears to be intact from this angle anyway. That's great news. I was so worried about Kahoma Village. Coming up on Mala Ramp. All these homes appear to be okay. Oceanfront's coming up here. Coming up on the corner of Kaipali and Front Street Apartments. Front Street Apartments look here down. Here's Kaipali, Oceanfront homes. I don't even recognize the place. Looks like the oceanfront buildings are intact here. Homes behind are not. But Pu'unoa appears to have avoided damage. That's really good news. I see a few buildings standing in the back yet, so they weren't all destroyed, but looks like a good majority of them. $16.20, $10.29. Unfortunately, Ed was caught in this fire and has lost basically everything that he owns. His home was in Wahikuli. We're going to let Ed tell his story here a little bit, but before we get started, I just want to please ask you, if you enjoy content like this, please thumb up, share, and subscribe to the video, because this will help this channel grow so that we can get the word and the truth out about what's happening here on Maui. We've started a GoFundMe, LahainaFireFund.com. If you want to give directly to Ed after you hear his story, just put Ed Cheney, C-H-E-N-E-Y, somewhere in the GoFundMe notes. We'll make sure every dollar goes back to Ed and his family. And when Ed gets done telling his story, I'm going to share some things that I learned today about insurance companies and help that's on the way to help people with their insurance claims, to make sure that the sheep in wolf's clothing doesn't end up with the land or the assets. So I learned some very interesting things today from people that went through the fire in Malibu, and those same people that learned all those lessons are on their way here to help teach you what you need to do right now. But we have very important real estate related information. Obviously there's still no internet on Maui, so if you hear this information and you know of somebody on Maui, be sure to save the video and share it with them later on. But nobody over here has connectivity, zero. Ed, do you concur? No connectivity?
None.
And can't talk on the phone very well either. We have been able to receive text messages this whole time. And why the state or the government or the county has not sent out group text messages is very weird, but we still have not gotten a single text message. So without any further ado, Ed, please tell us a little bit about what happened, where you were the morning, the day this fire started, and sort of what you experienced.
I was in my truck going to check on some customers' properties, and all of a sudden all the roads were being blocked off right in front of me, and from the cops, and I would go to the next street and that would be blocked off, and the next one, and they just blocked everything off, forced everybody down on Front Street, in which then the flames were coming over our vehicles, not on our vehicles, but the flames are coming over top of our vehicles.
And what street are you on at this point in time?
Front Street.
You're on Front Street
Yes.
itself?
Yep.
So you got directed onto Front Street?
Yep.
Where did you start when you started this journey?
I was going down the highway and they blocked it off and wouldn't let me go any further.
So you were coming from Laniapoko?
No, I was coming from Waiakuli.
Why? Okay, so you're heading
down the
you're
highway.
heading south.
And then they stopped us from going up on the bypass. Then they wouldn't let me go past the bypass to the other exits to go up there.
So
Then,
you couldn't go up the bypass?
No. And then all of a sudden they said, everybody's off, get off this highway, go down this way, down into town. Then they started blocking everything off there. And then you were down on Front Street. And I got all the way down to Safeway. And
So you got corralled onto
Yes,
Front Street. You
yes.
started on Honopilani Highway.
Yes.
And you ended up on Front Street.
Yes. Couldn't go anywhere. They just said, go north, go north, go north. And then when we got on Front Street, like I said, the flames are coming over, embers, I don't mean flames. The embers were coming over the buildings and landing on our vehicles. And so we're all in a line trying to get to the end of Front Street to go north, like they told us to, not knowing that the police blocked off the end of Front Street so nobody could move. And then everybody panicked and they all started, everybody went up on the sidewalks and through yards, took out the other lane. And then all of a sudden nobody could move anywhere. So all I did was try to inch my way over to another yard and drive up through a sidewalk, come back around, and then the cops were moving around one exit, so I ended up getting up on the highway, even though they trying to direct me another way, and then I hightailed it to home.
So you basically had to climb up on sidewalks and go against what the cops were telling you could do. You had to break traffic laws, essentially.
Basically, yeah.
Right. I'm not saying it's
Yeah,
a bad
yeah,
thing. I'm
yeah.
just saying the
No,
only way to do it was to cross that line,
Yeah,
essentially.
because nobody could move and nobody knew where to go, and I said, I'm getting out of here no matter what.
Right.
I went. And then they started following me, and then I got to my house, and
And your house is where? Waikuli?
Waikuli.
Which is also known as Hawaiian Homes?
No, sorta. It's kind of
It's a blend.
mixed. Yeah, it's a blend.
It's a blend. Okay, I got you.
I was right by the chart house, just across the highway.
Okay.
And then I thought I was safe there. I didn't think it was going to be that big of a deal. There was a fire downtown. Okay, I understood, but I didn't think it was going to affect everybody.
Right.
And then all of a sudden, our neighbor came over and said, you need to get out of here now. And we're like, what's going on? Because we didn't hear no sirens, no nothing. And then we found out that they didn't want to sound the sirens because that would direct everybody up onto the high grounds, which would have solved a lot of problems.
Like a tsunami warning would.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they didn't want to confuse people with a tsunami warning.
How did you find that out?
I can't. Several people said that. Actually, they're saying it on the radio now.
So somebody made a call to not sound the siren because it would.
That's what we heard.
Interesting. But you did not get evacuated. Did you? One question I haven't asked anybody yet. During this whole time, you're down on Front Street. You're in that area. Did you see anybody fighting a fire? Did you see any fire trucks?
No, but the fire was
still up the hill.
Still above the highway.
Okay, so at this point, it was not in Lahaina town.
No.
It was up in Lahaina Luna.
Yeah. And
okay, I got you.
At the beginning of that little journey, I could look up when I tried to go up the bypass, the first, the main entrance. I could see the fire. It was on the side of the highway, up on the bypass, and that's why they blocked us off. I understood that.
Yeah, it makes sense.
That made a lot of sense. So
they're trying to keep people from danger.
Yep. Because it was just a small grass fire on the side of the highway. Nothing there. Nothing but grass. It wasn't even trees.
Right.
So I don't know what kicked it up to that magnitude like that.
About what time would you say this was happening? You don't remember? Okay.
I don't know.
So
it was still daylight, but it got. I should show you the pictures.
Yeah. Well.
It was so dark I could not see the vehicle in front of me. It was so black.
The black smoke.
Yep.
So at what point did you leave your house and decide, hey, I got to get out of here?
10:30.
10:30 a.m. 10:30 p.m. So 10:30
so
p.m.
right after this,
someone comes to your door and says, Ed, you got to leave.
Yeah, our next door neighbor said, we were just told by phone that we need to get out of here now. I said, we haven't heard nothing. Nobody's driving around or anything. And then we faintly heard something up on the upper road, but we couldn't make out what they were saying. And then we were just figuring, well, maybe that's what they're just relayed to us. So that's when we packed up the animals, a few belongings.
And 30 chickens. He saved his 30 chickens and put them in his van. Now, let me tell you what, that's a true animal lover right there. And how many dogs?
Three dogs.
3 dogs. So you sort of gave up some possessions to save the chickens,
and
yeah?
I couldn't find my cat.
And oh, no, I'm so sorry.
Yeah.
And then Ed lived with the 30 chickens for how many days?
4 days.
4 days in a van.
Down here at the train station.
Right, okay. So,
we're looking for a place to put some chickens.
Anybody wants some fresh eggs, that's the man to talk to. So talk to me about that night. So you just leave Waikuli, you head north from your home, and you just parked it at Airport Beach.
Well, the cop was there, and he says, everybody has to go north. I said, I got to go this way. They said, no, everybody's going north. So we just went north. They said, just go north. So we did, and the first place I could see where we could pull over and park the two vehicles side by side was the train station. So we pulled in there, and there was a triage or something there, ambulances there, where they would bring in patients, and then from there they would shuttle them out. So we were parked right next to the ambulance that was doing the triage, and so we could hear them talking about the smoke inhalation, some burn victims, some firemen that were hurt, and then we stayed there for almost 4 days.
Okay. So anything you want to share with their viewers in terms of what it's been like since the fire, support, gaps, things that you need, don't need? Where can these people that want to help, besides giving money and helping your future, what do you see that the people or you need in the community right now on the west side of Maui, not on the other side? Please be understanding that there's two sides of this island. We're on the west side. A lot of the people are in War Memorial, and all the shelters are on the other side of the island. There's a lot of people on the west side of Maui. So speak directly to what you've experienced on this side.
We've had no communications. We've had no internet, no cell phone, could barely get a text in once in a great while. It took us 4 days to contact family. And when my phone did finally get some service, it just lit up until it was full. There was so many people calling from the mainland trying to see if we made it.
Including us.
Yep, and then all my customers were calling to see if we made it, and they were very nice and kind and generous. And one of my customers said, if you can get to our house, stay there.
So still to this day, just so everyone's clear, there's still no internet, right?
No internet, no power where I'm staying.
And his wife is upstairs in our bedroom. She's on the Starlink right now, contacting different things that she needs to do to take care of business. But there's still absolutely, this is a blackout. So if you want to share this video with the powers that be, I'm getting ready to go share a Starlink with the Department of Homeland Security. Hello. There's no internet, there's no connectivity, there's no way for people to do anything that they need to do over here as far as the internet goes. And as you know, we're a very internet dependent society, so registering on the Red Cross or doing whatever they're telling you to do, and we're going to talk more about that here in a moment. But what are the gaps that you see besides that, from your perspective?
The communication, mostly.
That's the biggest one.
I even stopped at the roadblock to go to the other side to pick up supplies for people.
Yeah, tell us what happened that night.
So it was at Maui is where the barricade was, and
you were told you could leave and come back and get stuff.
And I said, look, I'm going across right there to the gas station to get gas and ice and come right back. Can I leave and come back? And
you're asking this to the police officer at the blockade in Maui on the poly, right there after the poly. Okay.
Yep. So I went there, got my gas, got right back in line to come back, and they blocked us off and said nobody can go to the west side.
So the same officer that just said you could come back allowed you to go get your supplies, but you just went to the gas station right there in Maui.
He got orders. I'm not saying it was his fault.
Yeah. But I'm saying
he got orders, and as we went there to get gas at the Carl Jr. gas station. Yeah. From that point to turning around and coming back, it was
how long were you gone?
18 hours we were sitting there at the blockade.
18 hours. So after being stuck in his car with 30 chickens for how many, 2 or 3 nights?
4 nights.
4 nights. Then he goes to the other side to get supplies because he was told he could. Asked an officer if he could just go to the closest gas station. How long were you gone getting gas and ice?
Half an hour.
Half an hour. Returns to the blockade. You couldn't get through. Then you got stuck in that line for 18 hours.
Yep.
And that's when everyone piled up. And and you actually tried to run the blockade at one point.
Yes.
And then the cops came and got you, right?
Well, no, they just pull in front of you and stop and say, where are you going? And I say, look, I got a van full of animals and a truck full of animals. I got to get them out of here. They're cooking.
And ice that's melting.
And ice, yeah. And he says, sorry, nobody can go through. And I said, okay. So he said, just pull over. Yeah. And I was the first one to go through the.
Wow. So you're at the head of the line, essentially.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
But a whole bunch of other people did the same thing.
Sure. Okay.
And so they were just corralling us all over there. Just told us, stay calm. We'll get through this. We'll get you through the line as soon as we can. But they were under the impression that we were going to get through in a couple hours. And then mayor or Maui mayor or whatever, I don't know, called in and said nobody is to go over to the other side.
Gotcha. Okay. So anything you want to share moving forward about this whole situation? Anything you want to say to the people out there on the mainland, around the world that are watching this right now? Just from your heart or from your mind?
Do what you can, no matter what it is or how small, to help people out here on the west side. People are hurting.
Yeah, yeah. So if you want to give to Ed and his family, you can give. If you have a Venmo, you're happy to share it or anything like that. But okay, we have Lahaina Fire Fund.com set up. Lahaina Fire Fund. By the way, we're now associated with Operation Recovery Maui, which is a 501(c) associated with Buzzy and Bill Kerbox. If you don't know who Buzzy Kerbox is, go ahead and Google that up. He's Laird Hamilton's buddy. The Kerbox family owns property on Front Street. Their folks are buried in Lahaina town, and they have partnered with us. And the reason for that is because they were involved, specifically Bill Kerbox was involved with the fires in Malibu, and they came in there to help them, essentially help the homeowners fight the insurance companies. So for all of you people out there that are talking about people coming and stealing land, or what I'm learning, right? I'm a real estate agent, I sell real estate, but I don't deal with insurance companies. But what I'm learning from their attorney, Lance Strumpf, you can Google all this stuff if you want. They are going to come here to educate homeowners. So Ed here is a homeowner that no longer has a home. He doesn't know what to do right now because he's never been in this situation. So talking to Bill Kerbox, Buzz Kerbox's brother, and Lance Strumpf, their attorney, he says, here's some tips for you guys right now. Number one, call your mortgage company if you are, the owner of the property, and tell them that you need the deferment of your payment, that you've been involved in a fire or natural disaster, and they will hold off and defer your payments, stick them on the end of your mortgage. That's step one. Step two is don't sign anything with anybody. The insurance company is supposed to give you an advance. An advance is where they advance you money. That is not a settlement. They have to send you money as an advance. But don't sign anything with the insurance company. The insurance companies, from what I'm learning, are the ones that kind of come in and try to rip people off, essentially, paying them off early. They realize that homeowners are between a rock and a hard place. The insurance companies aren't. They've got billions of dollars and time on their hands. You're trying to pay your bills. So that gap needs to get filled. $700 is not going to fill the gap. Mr. What's his name? Biden?
Yeah.
It's not going to fill the gap. It's not going to do the trick. I'm not going to help. Okay? Need a lot more than that. But don't sign anything with your insurance company. Operation Recovery Maui is on their way. They're going to set up a FAQ to help people. They're going to be doing seminars in classrooms and conference rooms and hotels over here to teach the homeowner here how to correctly battle essentially the insurance companies and FEMA and make sure that you don't sign anything you're not supposed to sign. So the time now is to relax as much as you can, but don't sign anything, and allow legal counsel to give you the advice you need. Whether you use Operation Recovery Maui and Lance Strumpf and his team, that's up to you. They're going to be here soon, but the message they wanted me to send to you is keep an eye out on the insurance companies. Read your policy. You don't have your policy probably because it burned, but start the communication with them to get that advance. Don't sign anything. And essentially, that's the message that they're going to come over here and share with you. These are good guys. If you don't know who Buzzy Kerbox is, Google him. And his brother, Bill Kerbox, they reached out to me and they said, Eric, we want to partner with you. So you're legitimate 501(c). They are registered as a Hawaii a non-for-profit. Sorry about that. The gimbal just died on me. Too much gimbal time lately, I guess. So anyway, orientation is out of whack. We're going to have to go handheld here. Apologies for that, my gimbal died. So now we're handheld, a little shaky here. Not enough caffeine, quite frankly. But at any rate, that'll settle my nerves, a couple cups of coffee. But I just want you guys to hear this message loud and clear. I'd like you to please share this message if you can. As you know, as the truth goes out on a channel, there's a potentiality that it could get shadowed, it could get ghosted, it could get shut down. And it's important that you share these messages. We're going to set up a streaming multi-service where we can go on LinkedIn and Facebook and all these other sites simultaneously. So Kerbox Media is working on getting that set up for me. But you guys as the people, if you care about people like Ed Cheney, who quite frankly is one of the hardest working men I know on this island and does a lot of work pro bono for people, and you know, it's time for you guys to step up the best you can, to share the video, to give to Ed directly through LahainaFireFund.com and put in his name, Ed Cheney, C-H-E-N-E-Y, if you want to give directly to Ed and his wife. But that's the idea here, is to get these funds directed to you folks directly, to give you the information that you need. Also, if you are a renter, I know a lot of you guys were renters, this arm's getting tired, then you have a renter's insurance policy, possibly, and there could be an advance provision in there as well, to get an advance, a money advance, also a provision to provide temporary housing. That could be in both the homeowners and the renter's insurance policy. And if you're a renter, there's a possibility some of those benefits could pass from the homeowner's insurance policy to you. But it's very important that you slow down, don't sign anything, and try to figure out what they're supposed to advance to you ahead of time so that you can get the support that you need. And just be very, very careful with these insurance companies. Operation Recovery Maui is coming, right? I just learned their name. I just had a 2-hour consultation with them, and they're very, very legitimate guys associated with Maui, and I don't know what that is, Ed. We're live, we're doing the best we can. So on that note, the next step we're going to do is we're going to head down to the Royal Lahaina. We're going to try to supply some more much needed internet for people. We've got gas cans, and we're just going to find out where the need is. Again, our cause is Let's Fill the Gap, LFG. So if you know of a gap, if you need help, I'm trying to answer my phone, 808-298-2030. I'm not reading all my comments because there's so many, but if you have a real need, if you have a real way that you can help, please, no calls or texts about, you know, general things that are not important right now. We're super focused on helping and allocating the right resources. We are the boots on the ground and giving you the real story. So reach out if you're someone that has a real way to help. And we're just going to find out where the need is. Again, our cause is Let's Fill the Gap, LFG. So if you know of a gap, if you need help, I'm trying to answer my phone, 808-298-2030. I'm not reading all my comments because there's so many, but if you have a real need, if you have a real way that you can help, please, no calls or texts about, you know, general things that are not important right now. We're super focused on helping and allocating the right resources. We are the boots on the ground and giving you the real story. So reach out if you're someone that has a real way to help. All the ancillary miscellaneous stuff, let's just save that for later if you don't mind. But I want to thank you guys so much for tuning in. Ed Cheney, thank you so much for sharing your story. And guys, we're just trying to put the pieces of the puzzle together and make sure that the people of Maui are protected, make sure that the landowners are protected, and make sure that things come together the way that they should. And as always, the devil's in the details, and information is power. And the sooner U.S. government, County of Maui, state, military, you guys that got the resources can turn on some internet connectivity over here so I don't have to keep cruising around offering Starlinks to people, would be fantastic. If someone could relay this message to the governor, what's his name again? Oh, I can't remember. Whoever the governor of Hawaii is, if you could turn on some internet for the people here, and before you announce that there's internet, I want you to come over here and use it yourself and try to go to a website and conduct business without a circle going around forever. I want you to go to these places that you're providing internet and use it yourself and see if you can conduct business. Because that's the other challenge. The soundbite is real good. Oh yeah, they've got towers, they've got internet, but is it usable? None of them are working. Ed was standing underneath the Verizon tower trying to get it to work. So for you big companies that are advertising, oh Verizon, we're here for you and emergency services, you know what? That is just not right. Don't advertise that you're here and you're going to give out free cell phones and all that PR BS. And it's not true. We're here to give you the truth. There's no internet connectivity. There's one little tiny Cessna with a loudspeaker going, there's food and water at the... Okay, we get it. We know there's plenty of food, there's plenty of water today. I mean, we might need it in a month, don't get me wrong. But the real need is communication for the people, is internet and good information on what are the next steps to fight these insurance companies. Quit blaming realtors, quit blaming these investors, and let's get the national worldly conversation focused on insurance companies doing the right thing and not screwing these people over and providing real money that they can live on to rebuild their lives. Okay, it's time for people to step up, right?
Yes.
To step up.
Unity.
Unity. You come here and you vacation on Maui, you love Maui, you want to come here and relax and unwind and drink a pina colada and all that stuff, great. If you want to come do that again with people that love you and we love you, etc., then now is the time to show your love. Right now is the time, not through what can we do to help. Actually do something to help. Don't ask what you can do to help. We're telling you what we need. Please do your best to provide it. If you can't do anything else, share the video, subscribe to the channel, put it on your social media, and most importantly and above all, pray. Pray for Maui. That's the most important thing, honestly. That is the most important thing, because if we can send prayers to heaven, God will hear it. The Holy Spirit will hear it, and He will send help. He will give us guidance. The small, still voice will tell us what to do. We'll align the right people. But if everyone can just spend a minute or 2 or 5 or 10 on your knees with your eyes closed, praying for wisdom for the people of Maui, praying for peace to be restored, praying for internet. Make your requests very specific, not generalized, specific prayer. Say Ed Cheney's name in that prayer. Pray for the people, specifically for Maui. Spend some time doing it instead of talking about conspiracy theories and putting in mean comments or whatever. Let's just focus on the job at hand today. Okay, pretend like this is your job and you're getting paid. What would the boss expect? Well, the boss is the good man upstairs, right, in heaven. What is God telling you to do? Be obedient and do it. Very simple. And you shall be rewarded in one way or another. And when you come back to Maui on that vacation in a few years, you'll be able to shake the hands of people like Ed Cheney and the waiters and the waitresses and all the people that humbly serve you. They'll humbly serve you again. And they will go back maybe to a house that doesn't house 4 or 5 different families, right, Ed?
Exactly.
How many of these homes were housing 4 or 5 different families? If you knew the third world conditions that these people lived in to serve your $10,000 vacation, you would have a better appreciation than you might have right now. Ed and I have been living with these people. He's been here for 40 plus years. I've been here for 13 years. We know who these people are. These are precious, precious, precious people. The people from the Philippines. It's not just, haoles like us that live and work here. They're precious people from all over the world that have been here for generations. Generations of Hawaiians, generations of Filipinos, generations of Tongans, generations of Micronesians. I'm sure I'm missing some people from Indonesia or the Pacific Islands, but these are precious, precious, humble, servant-minded people that work hard, that work multiple jobs, 3, 4 jobs. Both parents work. The kids are at home alone. They live in closets. They have their cars parked on the lawns. Now is your time. And unfortunately, my heart breaks. Some of those people are no longer with us. So if there is anything that moves you, this should move you to take action. If you don't want to give to Ed and our GoFundMe, that's great. Try not to give to these big organizations, right? The Red Cross and Salvation Army, I'm sorry.
Red Cross is not even here.
They're not here. Don't listen to them. Go to some website. We can't go to a website. Give to the people that are going to give back to the community. Let's form a commission of locals that control how this whole thing happens. But give your money to organizations that you know are going to put it in the hands of the people and provide the actual resources that they need, not finding supplies that are still in boxes a year from now that they don't distribute. See through the bureaucratic corruption and bullshit that's happening out there, and it always happens. Don't let Maui fall victim to that same corrupt system that doesn't work. Do you hear me? And you have the power. If people just realized, right, in America, that we have the power, the people have the power. It's like having 1,000 prisoners in a cell and one person holds the key. If those 1,000 people just woke up, they could get out of that prison in a second. So it's time for all you people of America to wake up to the reality of what's going on around us. This is not conspiracy. This is simply putting the right resources together, using your brains, speaking out, not being afraid. I'm putting myself at risk by putting out this YouTube channel. I don't know how people are going to react to this. I don't know if they're going to get mad at me, but guess what? I don't care. My mission is simple, helping people. Make that your mission. Help Ed, help Maui, and do whatever you can to truly, truly make a difference. Every little thing matters. If all it is sharing this video and subscribing, that's great. If all it is a prayer, that's great. If all it is giving $10 to the GoFundMe, great. Whatever your part is, it's vital. We implore you to make your part happen and get the message out. And we'll be back again providing Wi-Fi, providing gas cans, and doing what we can to help guys like Ed Cheney. And I'm telling you, this guy is the most resourceful guy on planet Earth. He can fix anything easily.
As soon as I get to Home Depot and replenish my
Right.
tools, I lost everything.
He lost everything. But this man can fix anything. He comes over and fixes stuff on my house and never even sends me an invoice. That's the kind of man you're looking at right there. And I'm not kidding. Ed, how much money do I owe you? I can't even imagine, bro. Every time he finishes a job, I'm like, Ed, don't forget to send the invoice, and he never does. That's the kind of good-hearted man we're talking about right here. So if you want to empower Ed, put him back to work on this island, I guarantee you, you won't find a guy that'll work harder for his neighbor than this man right here. He's skilled, he's talented, and he can do just about anything. So thumbs up in the comments for Ed, and give him some cash, plenty of it, at LahainaFireFund.com. All right, guys, until next time, we shall return. Thank you for tuning in. Keep those prayers coming. Until
And gotta catch them all. That's what 70,000 New Yorkers will be doing at this weekend's Pokemon Go Fest. The event starts today and goes through Sunday at Randall's Island Park. And throughout the city, roughly 80% of this year's attendees are traveling into New York from out of town to go to this event, which is the biggest ever Pokemon event in the U.S.
We're here to catch some Pokemon, try to get all the shinies we can find.
And we're here for Pokemon Go Fest, so our little Pikachu could be Pikachu in real life.
We're here for the Pokemon Go Fest in New York City. You know, we're gonna catch them all, right? And go get them shinies. We're here for the Pokemon Go Fest in New York City. You know, we're gonna catch them all, right? And go get them shinies.